Hey guys, Matt and Jared back here, going to give you a little bit more history of Fox Airsoft. So in our previous video, we kind of gave you a history on how we started from the Carl's Jr., business discussion we had to opening a shop, working out of the back of our Jeep. And now at this point, we've basically been using this business as a hobby business for a few years. And we, came to, basically a point where we had to decide, are we going to really pursue this, or is it time to move on with life and do something different? So at the time, I had just moved out to Kansas actually for my current job I was working at, and then Jared was back here in Colorado, and you were working where at that time, Jared?
Oh, I was over at AutoZone and working as a commercial sales manager over there, and I was looking at Fox and just we were excited about having a small retail location at that time, but we had very limited hours. We were just open like 2 or 3 nights a week just for a couple hours of the day, so it was really minimal, very small. We called it the Noob Cube. It was literally like 10 feet by 10 feet. It was just a little business suite. We had one little gun wall with like 3 guns on it at any given time, and I just decided that I wanted to try it and do it full time. So we I quit my job. I started coming into Fox every day, and we just did it, and slowly but surely we built it up into a full-time normal business hours kind of operation.
Yeah, definitely. And so you guys know, I actually remember the conversation with Jared very distinctly. He was like, Matt, I want to do this full time. And I was like, okay, all right, that sounds great, Jared. But I'm like, I have no clue how I'm going to pay you here. All right. So in 2 weeks, good luck, buddy. I hope you have a paycheck at that time. But, obviously he's still here. So, for better or for worse, we're both still here, I guess. And we made it work, So that first location, the Noob Cube, we actually started to do some of our first marketing videos. I put one in the article titled "Don't Be a Noob." So it's kind of our first attempt at marketing humor, if you will. So if you guys want to see a piece of Fox nostalgia, make sure to scroll down and check that thing out. And we were in there for after Jared came full time. I think it was only 6 months, Jared, before we had to move.
Yeah, we expanded really quickly, from that small first shop, and then we eventually went and found a new retail location that was a little bit bigger, still small, compared to what you see today, but we got a little bit bigger store. And at the time, it was kind of crazy because Matt would manage the store, like all the back end stuff and the finances from Kansas, and then I was the feet on the ground in the store, and I was basically like running the front of the store, like placing orders, and then like when there weren't customers in the store, I'd run in the back and like fix a gun. So it was really crazy and chaotic, and looking back now, it's hard to believe that we even operated like that, but that's how we did it.
Yeah, and then after that location, we moved over to our current complex that we're at in a different suite here. We hired our next guy, to bring on staff. And I remember one day, like he called me up and he was just so frustrated. Matt, like, I don't even have a phone to call people with. And I was like, yeah, I didn't think about that. So, it was just funny to see these, these different iterations in the business history, where, okay, we get a phone. Okay, now we're going to hire our third person, bring on, a technician to be able to work on the guns. And, and then in that year, let's see here. So we moved to a new location. Then we were only there, 6 months or something like that. Then we moved again. Right?
Yeah, so we had to move yet again. Same building. We just moved into a bigger suite. And, every time you move, it's just a new set of problems that you have to deal with. But, so we moved again, got a little bit bigger, and as we went, we just... we always joke, like, one day we're going to write a book, like, how not to start a business. And that's really how it was, because everything was a crash course. We were just guys that really loved Airsoft. And, by the turn of events, we turned it into a business. And so it really was a crash course. And a lot of things were just, we did them as they came, and as we needed, to change something or whatever, we figured out how to make it work. And so it was really, like I said, just really chaotic in those younger days of Fox.
Yeah, definitely. Jared's not joking with that. And, so we had all these moves here. We went to, this location, then the next within the same complex. And finally we decided, hey, let's let's design an actual airsoft shop, that is going to be able to present the equipment professionally. We're going to be able to service you guys better. And then we actually made the plans to move into where we're at now. So this is our current location. That was, I think it's about, was it 5 years ago or so we did that?
Yeah, it might have been 4 or 5 years ago, and obviously it's the biggest shop yet, and has a lot more. If any of you guys that have been into our shop, has a lot more guns on the wall, and it's So this is where we are.
Yeah, definitely. So, so we got into this new shop. We started to tweak things out. It certainly looked much more professional than our first iteration of the shop. And since then, we've been adding on quite a bit more to it. So, that kind of takes you through the early years when we first got into our shop. And then in the next video, I'm going to actually talk from the last 5 years, giving you a little bit of the history that Jared and I have done over that time, some of the adventures we've had, and then also we're going to talk a little bit about where we're going to be going here in the future. So thanks a lot for listening. Again, you can continue to hear more on our blog as well as our YouTube channel, and then also make sure to check out our website at foxairsoft.com.